As the economy continues to struggle along, more and more people are struggling financially. And that also means an increase in the number of scams out there, especially scams targeting seniors. The County District Attorney's Office is looking to educate the public and prosecute the guilty. Here's James Ketchkage.
Hello?
It starts with a phone call from a person claiming to be your grandchild. They say they're in trouble or stranded out of the country and need money fast. Tricks like the classic grandma scam and fake lottery wins are back. And according to Deputy District Attorney Paul Greenwood, they are as prevalent as ever.
Just in the last 3 months, I've been working with 3 separate elderly victims, each of whom have given on average about $125,000 to these unknown suspects overseas.
This kind of financial elder abuse is tough to combat, in part because it often goes unreported.
Once they realize they've been victimized, say nothing. They would prefer to remain silent than tell, certainly, a loved one or a professional advisor, because they perceive that by coming forward, they are going to be viewed as being in need of protection themselves. Because they work on a misconception that someone's going to place them in a nursing home if they become a victim.
Current estimates put the overall reporting of financial exploitation at only 1 in 25 cases, suggesting that there may be at least 5 million financial abuse victims each year.
It is tragic because in each of these cases it represents their life savings. And sometimes the only way it comes to be discovered is where this victim has actually called a family member to say, could I borrow $1,000 to pay my rent for next month? And of course, after the initial shock, they say, but why, Grandma, or why, Auntie? Well, I don't have any money left. And that's how these things come to light.
Another example of financial exploitation that prosecutors see far too often involve caregivers. This is because caregivers often have unlimited access to an individual's funds and property as they care for them.
Don't put an ad in the newspaper. Always go to a licensed, bonded, insured agency and sit down with the owner of the agency and say, okay, so you want this person from your agency to come into my home. Can you tell me and convince me that you have done a thorough background check on this individual? Show me what you've done. Amazing.
Within minutes, the phone rings. Yet another caregiver arrested for stealing from the one he was hired to help.
See, that's classic. I just get a call from my colleague who's downstairs. We have an in-custody case that is due to be heard tomorrow. And he called me because he knew that I would be interested in this. It's an elderly victim in their 70s. They have a caregiver who's been caught stealing Oxycontin, which is the strong painkiller medication that a lot of elders are on. And my first question to my colleague was, does this caregiver have a criminal record? Let me see. He says, oh yeah, felony conviction for a petty theft with a prior.
Elderly homeowners are also falling victim to unlicensed contractors who manipulate or intimidate their victims into paying ridiculous sums for little or no work. These con men target the elderly for many reasons. For one, seniors are more likely to have a nest egg and excellent credit. They also were generally raised to be polite and trusting. Also, older Americans are less likely to report a fraud because they don't know who to report to or how.
Contact the Better Business Bureau. Contact the Contractor State License Board. Don't just get the cheapest estimate. Get 3 estimates and make sure you are dealing with a valid contractor, and always insist upon a written contract. Never give cash, always give a check, and keep a camera handy to photograph each stage of the construction work. The worst thing we can do is say it won't happen to me, it won't happen to my family, it's somebody else's problem, because unfortunately it is rampant, it's very diverse, and all of us need to be vigilant.
The county holds several of these seminars throughout the year where you can learn more. To learn more about where they're held and exactly when, just go to our website, ctn.org. I'm Michael Russo.